Why does this win almost feel like a loss, Johnny? It doesn't to me. They got 2 points. They've won 5 in a row. Tell me, where is it written that every win in a win streak has to be perfect and has to be pretty? True, but at this point, I'm feeling pretty confident that the win streak that they have against the Sharks, spanning so many previous seasons, might not survive to the end of this year. This is also true, but that's why they play the game. Let's see what happens. Before you fly off the handle, Johnny, take a deep breath. Does someone somewhere have a voodoo doll collection of this roster? As always, not helping. I guess the season's over. So, that was the plan. Why does it say placed on waivers? Nothing said. I have to talk about dumb moves and a Pens front office. What the hell did I just watch? Do I really need to be here for this at this point? I'm not having flashbacks to Game 4 against the Canucks last spring. At this point, Johnny, you can just splice together old intros. Cue the intro.
Redemption take you home.
Everybody's hands go up, way up, as the Nashville Predators defeat the San Jose Sharks by a final score of 6-3 Tuesday night inside Bridgestone Arena. It did look like it was going to be an easy night for the Preds as they staked themselves out to a 5-1 lead over the Sharks after 20 minutes with 5 different goal scorers. But the Sharks, who would outshoot the Preds 25-10 over the remaining 40 minutes, made it a little interesting, made us a little nervous under the collar, but nonetheless, the Preds prevailed to win their 5th game in a row. And if you didn't know, this is now the Preds' 14th straight victory, dating back to December of 2019. That is the longest active win streak by any NHL franchise versus any other NHL franchise that is still active. I still can't believe it's taken until Game 71 for the Preds to finally have their first meeting versus the Sharks this year. Over the remaining 12 games the Preds had coming into this one, 3 of them would be against San Jose. Well, things start off on the wrong foot for the Sharks as the Sharks are trying to clear out of their zone. Dickinson turns the puck over to Marchessault, who sets up Fedor Svechkov and slides it over to Philip Forsberg, who beats Delkovich, who is in net for the Sharks, and he would be in net the entire game. Preds with the early 1-0 lead. But once again, the Preds' no shutout streak that has been going on since Game 1 this season continues in Game 71, and 4 minutes after Forsberg had opened the scoring, the Sharks come the other way and tie it. Multiple screens, Starl's probably going the wrong way, and Adam Gaudette tips in his 15th of the season to tie this game at 1. That would be the last time this game was not without the Preds leading. But a minute and a bit later, it's Jonathan Marchessault again. I thought he wanted to be traded out of Smashville. Well, his tune has seemingly changed. He sets up Matthew Wood, who risks a shot past the Galkovich, and the Preds are back in front up 2-1. Almost 4 minutes after making it 2-1, the Preds can smell blood in the water, seemingly in the Sharks' end, because Phil Forsberg, the Sharks concentrate on him, and it's like, okay, fine, don't mind if I do. Let me set up my captain in the slot between the face-off dots, and he beats the Delkovich. Preds seemingly pouring it on now, and they're going to need it for later. They're now up 3-1. And no, it doesn't stop there, because 45 seconds after making it 3-1 by Yossi, Preds are in the Sharks' zone yet again. Ryan O'Reilly seemingly throws it on net, and Luke Evangelista is there in front to tip it home to make it 4-1. And the refs are conferring why San Jose's Ryan Lorlovsky's not challenging it. They have to go to the video review, and FanDuel, which thankfully I got to see this beauty of a first period on, much less the Preds win, is like wondering, okay, why are they reviewing this? And of course, you know what that means. The fans in Bridgestone Arena pull out their phones and serenade the officials, hoping that the people in Toronto can hear them. Let it be, let it be. Well, Toronto and Wes McCoy in person on Bridgestone Arena ice confirms it was a goal. Yes, we know that. Preds ahead 4-1. Everyone got frosties, seeing 4 goals. How about 5? About 3.5 left in the first period. Everyone's favorite punching bag when he makes mistakes on defense. Brady Shea shoots from distance. It goes in past Nedeljkovic. Yes, Nedeljkovic is somewhat still in the net, even though Askarov is suited to be his backup. Preds seemingly cruising up 5-1. The final horn in the first period would sound. Preds up 5-1 after 20 minutes. Such a small shot total considering how many goals went in. Preds out shooting the Sharks after 20 minutes, 9-5. Thanks to Nick Keyser on X, who pointed out that the last time the Preds had scored 5 goals at home in the first period was all the way back to February 28th, 2009, when the Preds put up a 5 spot on the Detroit Red Wings on the way to an 8-0 romp. And as the second period starts, to the continued surprise of me, the FanDuel Preds broadcast, probably many Preds fans in attendance, maybe even Sharks fans who might be visiting, to everyone except Sharks coach Ryan Orlovsky, who decides who dresses in this one. Then Nedeljkovic is still in the Sharks net to start the second period with Yaroslav Askarov. I hope I said that right. I know he's now changed the pronunciation on the bench. You'd think he would have wanted to fight to start this game, considering that, the Preds seemingly gave up on him when they kept Saros and traded him to San Jose. 5 minutes into the second period, the Sharks' John Klingberg beats Saros but rings one off of the goalpost. The first half, mind you how I say that, the first half of the second period goes along quite swimmingly, pun intended, with the Sharks for the Preds. But then in the second half, this is when things start to get a little interesting. Yes, don't let me overshadow the fact that the Preds keep their power play momentum going by getting another power play goal by Steven Stamkos, his 35th of the season, to make it 6-1. And I guess that helped to make the third period a little bit more digestible. Preds would have to defend a Fedor Svechkov high sticking penalty and nearly score as the penalty is about to expire, shorthanded 3-on-1, with Joaquin Kimmel coming also close to getting his first NHL goal. There's some light trolling by the production staff inside Bridgestone Arena during a stoppage with the playing of Baby Shark. You all know the lines to this. I don't want to risk singing it. Hence, YouTube give me a copyright strike. Preds would then get into some penalty trouble as Eric Hollow would go off for hooking, and then Ryan O'Reilly is sitting for delay of game. And on the 5-on-3, you can't keep this young Sharks team off the scoreboard forever. Will Smith would get his 20th of the season for this upstart Sharks team, giving a score maybe a little bit more respectable, 6-2 Preds. The refs would miss an interference penalty on the Sharks, but fortunately the Preds would kill off Ryan O'Reilly's delay of game penalty. In the dying moments of the second period, UC Saros would be counted upon to rob former Pred Keither Sherwood, looking to make it a 3-goal game, but Saros keeps it a 4-goal lead. Sharks now out shooting the Preds after 40 minutes, but the Preds still lead 6-2 after 40. Well, there's 20 minutes left to go in this one. The Preds just have to remain calm, reserved, don't kick any hornet's nest over or get anyone riled up or get any of the Preds on the roster injured. But the Preds don't hear my plea, hear my request, because just over 90 seconds into the third, with a sprawled out UC Soros in his crease. Will Smith gets the puck under him into the net for a second of the game. Now the Preds lead is down to 6-3. Preds with some pushback, but they can't get that 7th goal past Nedeljkovic. Yes, Nedeljkovic, who is still in that Sharks crease for some reason. There's a funny moment a little bit later when Phil Forsberg knocks down the puck with a high stick, where if the ref had immediately whistled it dead, that would have been fine. But as the puck lands, it's touched by a Shark, which should negate the high stick. But then there's a chance where Phil Forsberg has a chance to go and score because he hasn't heard the whistle. But then the ref calls the whistle anyways and calls the high stick. So why not be a little bit faster? About halfway through the third period, Sharks are out shooting the Preds 8-2 to that point in the third. UC Soros keeping his team in this one, despite it being a 3-goal lead. You'd think that things wouldn't be so tense, but the Preds looked a lot more comfortable through 30 minutes of this game. Roman Josi is then hit along the sideboard by Dmitry Orlov, and the hit was clean. It knocks Roman Josi's helmet off, and I was a little surprised that there wasn't an immediately move for retribution, retaliation, say just with a body check on Orlov by a Preds player. No. I'm not saying that it deserved a fight to occur on Orlov's behalf, kind of like petty Oiler fans who are still expecting that Ozzy Westbutt should have had the fight over his clean hit on Leon Draisaitl. But I just want to know that somebody on this team is going to stand up for their captain, even if that means taking a penalty. Kind of like how Jonathan Marchessault on Saturday stood up for Matthew Wood. After that instance, Zachary Heroux goes off for tripping, and despite this being a 3-goal quotient, it seems a little tense, like, let's not blow this thing, guys. Fortunately, the Preds continue to regroup, continue to deliver the right message with their play as this game nears its conclusion, and they kill off Heroux's penalty. Now, in the last quarter of the game, the final 5 minutes, we're waiting and waiting to see if Ryan Lorowski will pull Nedeljkovic for the extra attacker. It's only a 3-goal deficit. We wait, and he's really not going to pull his goalie. I guess Ryan Lorowski clearly gave up on his team because his goalie clearly gave up on them by not making a key save in the first period, allowing 5 goals, and the Preds would go on to win this. That 5-goal first give them the extra cushion, with the Preds winning this one by a final of 6-3. Well, I think I pretty much speak on behalf of Preds Nation through my fan reaction videos for this game. For example, that I love the first period. I pretty much love the first half of the game. I just could have done without the latter half of it. Perhaps last season, with where these two teams were well out of the playoff race, maybe the Sharks complete the comeback with the way these two teams were playing at that point. I will give the Preds credit that with the mix of vets and young guys, that they're learning, especially at the right time of year, with something coming in mid-April, just almost within reach. Practice on Wednesday should be very interesting. I don't want to see anybody in the front office, in the coaching staff, or on this roster satisfied with that lack of a 60-minute effort on Tuesday, and strive to be better with games on Thursday and Saturday and Sunday this week. But I will not discount them the final result. They deserve credit for getting the 2 points, extending their win streak to 5 games, especially with the fact of teams directly behind them in the standings all getting points pretty much tonight. As for the rest of this week, you have a New Jersey team coming into Bridgestone on Thursday night, a Devils team that will be golfing come mid-April when the season ends. There is no excuse not to get a win in that one. Then you got a spry Montreal team coming to Bridgestone for Hockey Night in Canada for my viewing purposes on Saturday. I can tell you, if you play the 60-minute effort against the Sharks once the Habs come, you're going to lose that one, so be better before a quick turnaround on less than 24 hours rest to go into Tampa, a capable, top-notch playoff team in the Eastern Conference Sunday afternoon. But nonetheless, with 11 games left to go in the season, still time to improve, still time to fix bad habits. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, click a like if you liked this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. You can find my social media and interact with me during every Preds game by clicking on a channel name. Tell all your friends about Redemption. I guess that first period against the Sharks tonight redeemed the Preds for their lack of one Saturday versus Vegas. Both games resulting in victories, so props on that. Don't miss a chance to witness Redemption.